Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Stamets, who clearly needs no introduction.
I think Sasha and Ann will be so proud of all of you. So thank you for continuing their legacy, and happy birthday, Sasha. One of the things that I think really has come through for those of us who had the honor and pleasure of knowing them is Sasha and Ann were buddies. They were best friends. They joked together, they played together, they were very mischievous and shared in great humorous acts. I first got to know Sasha and Ann well at the 1997 Ethnobotany Conferences in 1970 and 1998 in Palenque. Anybody here at those events? Yep, epic. During the Zapatista Revolution, with the federales with the automatic weapons walking, through our facility, the conference center. That was fun. So then Sasha invited him up to the Millennium Mushroom Conference in 1999, and I realized that I'm a deadhead. I knew the Merry Pranksters, Ken Kesey, and the whole family, and I knew these psychedelic scientists, and I thought, wow, why don't I bring them together for this epic conference? And so it was the Millennium Mushroom Conference in 1999, Brighton Bush Hot Springs. And it was a fabulous conference. It was focused mostly on mushrooms. And there was a costume ball. And then Sasha and Ann were introduced as Lord and Lady Sasha and Ann Shulgin. And they were great pompous. They would come into the main hall all dressed up in animalistic attire. Sasha was a wolf. And that costume ball went into this rave. And we had so many different species of psilocybes in a giant witch's brew, which everyone ingested. Now, just to give you an idea, and I'm not making this up, psilocybe baeocystis, cyanescens, cyanofibulosa, psilocybe cubensis, strictipes. We had a psilocybe colosa. We had so many different species of psilocybe. I've never seen so many species of psilocybe in one brew at one time. And 140 people ingested the brew. I lost control of the conference. I said I'll never organize another conference again. And it was a fabulous time. And the good news is Les Blanc, the famous filmmaker, was hired, and we filmed the entire conference. And my brother Bill also did B-roll. And so we have many hours of footage of that conference. And Sasha and Ann are interviewed, I think, for almost 2 hours. And we found all the footage. And we were able to donate it to the Sasha and Ann Shulgin Foundation. So you folks will all be able to see this footage. Again, and one last thing. So after the conference, there was another conference several months later. So Sasha and Ann came up to visit me at my farm, and we decided to drive to another country together. I won't admit what the country was, but the conference was a psychedelic conference. And so Sasha and Ann drove with me, and we drove up to the border. I go, oh shit, we can't tell them we're going to a psychedelic conference. They'll let us into the country, right? So what are we going to do? And I go, I have an idea. Trust me. Bad idea. So we go up to the border, and the border immigration officer asks, well, why are you coming into this country? And I said, oh, we're going to a restaurant conference. And the immigration officer looked at me and said, I don't think so. We didn't know what to say, and now I'm caught in this loop, right? And yeah, that's the ticket Stamets, yeah. So we persevered, and he noddingly approved us, and we got into the country. And then I got a scolding from Sasha Shulgin saying, why didn't you just tell them the truth? And I thought, you're right. You should never be an apologist for your interest in psychedelics. So I learned a lesson that day.
Paul, thank you so much.